Is it Baker Mayfield? Is it Darnold? Is it Allen? Could it be Rosen? Could it be Barkley? Could it be Chubb?
Okay.
Here comes Roger Goodell to open
NFL
the
draft is here. NFL draft is here.
Let's
go. Let's go. NFL draft is here. NFL draft is here, guys. So let's get to it. Okay. It's coming. I have my first 10 picks. Let me just see if you guys can see it or something. Hey, Johan, you ready for the draft? Johan, you ready for that draft, right? Today's the draft. Okay, come on. I'm going to hide the volume so that way you guys can hear me.
Thank you all for being here. And for all of you tuning in across the country.
I guess you watch this, so not here.
We already have a record tonight. Over 100,000
Hungry.
Hungry. ATT
Something. Let's go, guys. Yes.
And outside the stadium. That's a tribute to you.
What do you have?
Okay.
What do Pizza. Chicken curry. Okay, chicken curry. With naan.
Okay.
Okay.
For their excellence on the field, but more importantly,
So,
for what they do
let's
on the
watch
field
this
in their
now.
community.
Okay.
Troy Aikman.
I have to get my mock draft.
And Roger Staubach. Give it to him, guys.
Oh, yeah, look at Staubach throw deep. He just threw one to the Steelers section. Fantastic.
Okay, yes.
So if you're ready, are you ready?
Come on.
Let's get it started.
Yes.
The 2018 NFL Draft is now officially open. The Cleveland Browns are on the clock.
Get Darnold. Get Darnold.
To anyone,
Darnold.
whoever thought
Get
football
Darnold.
was just a game people
Are you
play.
still in there?
Let this moment.
The Browns are going to get the first pick. Darnold's going to go number 1.
Football to me is bigger than
Watch, Darnold's going to go 1. Watch it.
Football is my favorite thing in the world.
Okay, I'm going to come upstairs and I don't miss the pick. I'm going to write the actual picks down.
Texas, football is what you do.
Everywhere
I can't
else.
wait. I don't want to see these. So bad. I want to see Saquon Barkley.
It's really
Okay, come on.
an idea.
Yo, who's on?
An idea that can teach
Hey, Josh. Okay, we're coming. Okay, sorry, I'm crazy. Sorry, I'm crazy. Okay. Hey, Josh, here's my mock draft top 10.
the perfect place for one of the
Can
most
you read it,
important
Josh?
moments of their lives. The moment this game, this idea, becomes more than ever who they are.
Okay, let's go. I'm about to get some viewers here. Let's see what happens. See what happens.
As soon as your cleats hit the turf, you feel the buzz.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot. I have to go change
Welcome
to my.
to football.
I'm going to get my
The
stuff.
NFL draft in Texas. Just sounds right, doesn't it?
1 sec. And it's in. Guys, it's in. Guys, it's in. Let's see.
The 2018 NFL Draft presented by Verizon live on NFL Network and Fox. Steve Mariucci, Troy Aikman, and Steve Smith will join
And-
us shortly as we're looking at the Honda War Room cam, looking in on the Browns.
The
And
Browns
draft party all
Do not
nervous.
let us down here,
What
Browns.
will the Browns do first overall? Will it be Baker Mayfield? Will it be
One of the last 35
Coming out of
games.
the combine was that it could be Saquon Barkley. This is a team that made a lot of maneuvers.
So there's
right at the
7:45 on the
outset.
clock
It's a new league.
left.
This team made
Barkley,
some big-time
Barkley,
acquisitions.
get Darnold.
Mayock, what do you
Get
think
Darnold,
is
get
going to
Darnold.
happen
Okay.
with the Browns tonight?
Let's set the tone for a second, okay? If you're John Dorsey,
and you're the new general manager of the Cleveland Browns, this first pick of yours sets the tone for your franchise. It shows all the players in the locker room what a new Cleveland Brown looks like and smells like by your definition.
This until the Raiders
so you got to
select.
get this thing right. The guy's got to be great off the field. He's got to be great.
10. The Raiders have the 10th pick.
Set the culture for the future.
I have the whole draft order if you want to know.
Which it has to be. From my perspective,
let's see what happens.
The highest ceiling and the highest floor is Sam
They got 3 draft picks last year.
I also know he's the guy who will be in there grinding away in the morning and at night. From my perspective, they got to take him at 1. And if they don't trade out of 4, which is a possibility, they're either going to get Barkley or Chubb, both of whom fit that team like a glove.
Oh, yeah, I have to add you guys
as
as
moderator. As long as they get number 1 right.
There's no question. And for me, this is kind of like icing on the cake. They made a lot of good decisions in the last year plus. Off-season acquisitions and last year's draft I thought was really good. I think they've got a really good defense that meshes well with their defensive.
Allen's going to fall. Alabama players will cost.
Out of this. And then another impact player of some kind.
Alabama players being bust? Are you okay, sir?
All those quarterbacks the Browns have missed on. The guys they picked that haven't
worked out. Can see these
there's an equally long list of guys they've passed on. So for all that talk about let's take Saquon Barkley as 1 and wait around and see who falls to us at quarterback. No, you cannot do that. You've got to pick 1.
You're not the Browns.
And you got to do it right here at number 1.
Well, the first look of the Bud Light best available players. It could be it's everybody. It's everybody who's draft eligible. Basically, it's a way of taking a look at the top of your draft board. Regardless of position, Mike, you've got Saquon Barkley as the number 1 available prospect in the draft, followed by Gordon, Nelson, Bradley, Chubb, Roquan Smith. You don't even have a quarterback in your top 6. And not even Baker Mayfield in your top 10. But why is that?
Because I think that those 2 quarterbacks are better, Rich.
Very good. Very good. Sometimes the direct answer is the best.
When you're trying to do a top 100 and not by position, we stack these quarterbacks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's like people think you're going to stack them at the top end of the draft. But the best 3 players in this draft, from my perspective, are Chubb, Nelson,
I'm so excited
and
right
who's
now.
number 3?
Halfway through, the Browns have 5.
Well, to me, look, people are trying to make this comparison. We're elevating these quarterbacks.
I want to go to the 10th right now.
There's a difference. Elevating them's okay. That's not a bad thing. It's when you're trying to create a quarterback. That was the Ponder, the Gabbert here. These guys can play. All 4 of these top guys. I throw 5 in there with Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson,
starters in this league.
And there's no question
about
it.
What we know, and Lamar Jackson's
going to go all those teams in those war rooms. You can't win without a quarterback. So if you have one, and you need one, there's one there for you. You got to take them.
Well, what the Browns are doing is elevating the drama for all the conversation that we heard today. Is that Dorsey's known it for weeks. He's just kept it to himself and not told his wife, and told Hugh Jackson only in the last 48 hours. We got 4.5 minutes left on the clock here, and what is it? Dorsey just waiting to see if the phone does ring for that proverbial offer he cannot refuse.
The cynic in me thinks television may have something to do with this. Look, when the teams that I've worked with, I've been the guy that's on the phone. So you're in the office on the phone with these guys back here, and I've been instructed, don't turn the pick in until there's 30 seconds left. I want them to talk about us. Hopefully they say some good things.
Is that right?
Honest truth.
Let's go.
And then if it starts going negative, put the pick in. Get the pick in. You know, if we're going to take this Browns discussion to another level, let's assume they're taking a quarterback at 1, whichever one, okay? Number 2 could be Barkley. Number 3 is another quarterback. So at 4, if they get Bradley Chubb, I've heard a lot of people say, why would they take him when they took Myles Garrett a year ago? Well, this is an exciting pick if they get Bradley Chubb. You pair
Bradley
him with
Chubb,
Myles
you ready
Garrett.
for him?
You've got a guy named Emmanuel Ogbah, who's a really good pass rusher also. You've got Carl Nassib, who has the versatility of playing inside-outside, and you're building a sub-package front that's going to go hunt quarterbacks. Coach mentioned Greg Williams is really aggressive, and trust me, folks, if you're a Cleveland Brown fan, this defense is better than people think. They're ready to win now on defense.
All right, 3 minutes to go now until we get the Browns pick revealed finally. Steve Mariucci on our outside set. What are you thinking, brother?
I worked with both of these guys before. John Dorsey in Green Bay. I was a coach. He was a scout. And I know he can keep a secret, okay? I don't know why he's using up the entire 10 minutes. But I also worked with Hugh Jackson. He was my offensive coordinator at the University of California. And we ran the West Coast offense. And now he's tweaked that offense since then, but I know he wants a smart guy, and he wants a guy with some mobility. He likes to move the pocket, change the launch point, Troy, because he doesn't want to go back in the pocket all day long. Movement, play action, keeps, those kinds of things. Does that eliminate some of these guys? Does it say Baker Mayfield, Darnold? Those are the kind of athletic quarterbacks.
Pick is in. Okay, let's go.
Go ahead and say,
the pick is
in. It's going to be the Wild Wild West. So why not just get it started? Take a quarterback at number 1, and then go to number 4 and take another.
Pick is in.
And see.
Pick is in.
If you can grab 2 more picks, say Buffalo with 12 and 22, or New England who has 2 picks. Go ahead and call me. I got what you need. Let me go ahead and go shop with a Hall of Famer.
Josh, do you know who it is?
Quarterbacks in this
draft. Josh, you know who it is?
Come into this draft and haven't been coached up all that hard. You talk about Hugh Jackson in Cleveland. They also have Todd Haley, who's going to be in his first year as offensive coordinator. He's done a great job at every stop that he has been, most recently in Pittsburgh. I can assure you, whichever quarterback lands
Why aren't you announcing
it? He's going to be coached up. He's going to be coached well.
Well, the pick is in, guys. As a matter of fact, the Giants are already on the clock and have been for a minute, so they already have the information. And phone lines are ringing, and Hugh Jackson is currently strolling around inside the Berea, Ohio Browns war room shown by Honda. If it is Darnold, then the Giants might get Barkley.
The Giants already know the pick
for another quarterback. If it is
Giants already know the pick,
the roof will be torn off of this building, and all sorts of phone rings in New Jersey with the Giants will happen, but it's time to get the first pick of the 2018 draft. Here is the commissioner to make the announcement.
With the first pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Baker Mayfield.
Wow.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Stop it, Mushi. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
The 2017 Heisman Trophy winner.
Oh my God. Did that seriously just happen? Did that seriously just happen? Oh my God.
Baker Mayfield, the Heisman Trophy winner out of Oklahoma, is the first overall pick in this draft. The draft party in Berea, Ohio. Some are cheering.
Hey, Marcy, stop. The dog's watching the draft. Oh my God. Mayfield goes number 1. I had Mayfield going to Denver number 5.
First overall, Michael Vick.
That was a bad pick. Oh my God, that was a bad pick. I'm not gonna lie, that was actually a bad pick.
By the Giants or somebody to come up.
Baker's gonna be a bust. Just watch. Just watch, guys. Just watch. Baker Mayfield's gonna be a bust.
That young man out of USC, but first and foremost, your thoughts on Baker Mayfield being the first overall pick in the draft?
My God.
From my perspective,
is this real?
He was the 4 overall quarterback, right? But I know John
Is this
Dorsey,
real?
And from John Dorsey's perspective, John's got a little swag, and he likes swag.
Is this real or what?
This kid's a competitor. If you're looking at the plus side of him, you know, he's under 6'1". He finds lanes to throw. He's thick in the chest. He's highly accurate playmaker, highly accurate on the move. His character has cut both ways in different buildings with GMs and head coaches I've talked with. Now, when you look at him on the field, there's a lot to like against Texas. Little pump fake, throws open into the secondary, wide open. I like him.
Hey, the Giants are going to get Barkley. Don't worry. Josh, the Giants are going to get Barkley, number 2. Rosen's going to go straight to the Jets. Yeah, that's the top 3 for you. I already got 1 pick wrong. My God.
Trust me, he's an athlete. He
I just got 1 pick.
He's an athletic, competitive kid.
Later, I
light up the locker room. What I don't like is he misses a lot of underneath coverage, especially when the pocket collapses. He never saw the free safety. It was an easy pick. I saw a lot of that when the pocket constricted. However, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, hey, Troy, you're going to strap it up in Cleveland, baby.
Well, let me tell you, I mean, I'm surprised, to be quite honest with you. His name started surfacing a couple days ago, and I thought it really was a smokescreen. Here's a guy who already has created an upset because he's a walk-on Heisman Trophy winner. Now he can add another upset to his resume as the #1 overall pick. You look at his tape, Mike, and he has a lot of good things working for him. First of all, what stands out is that he has a love for the game. He plays with a great deal of passion and a lot of swagger. And the guy who was last picked in the first round at quarterback for Cleveland was none other than Johnny Manziel. This guy's been compared to him. Baker Mayfield has a much better arm than Johnny Manziel ever thought of.
Yeah, Giants.
I know this. The spotlight's not going to be too big for him. There certainly is going to be a lot of expectations. This team has a lot of holes to fill. But I would not be surprised, even though they have said Tyrod Taylor is going to be the starter in 2018. I wouldn't be surprised if Baker Mayfield's not your starter week 1.
Yeah, Troy, these
they got Tyrod. Why are they doing with the quarterback?
Baker and protect the football. You go out and get Tyrod Taylor, and he was in the playoffs last year. Very low turnovers. You go draft Baker Mayfield, he protects the ball, and he's won a lot of football games. But when I watched him for a comparison, I had to go back. I heard Russell Wilson. I've heard Drew Brees. I saw Jeff Garcia when I watched him. Talk about somebody that's a little bit frenetic when you watch him in the pocket. Very busy, but he throws with excellent accuracy. He can anticipate. He can throw a touch. And when he extends the pocket, he's not looking to run.
Come on,
he's looking to make plays and throw down the field. And that's something that Jeff Garcia had some success with.
Well, Baker Mayfield.
Okay, pick is in. Okay, the pick is in, guys. Pick is in for the Giants. Pick is in for the Giants. Let's see who they get. Let's see who they get. Who the Giants get? Who the Giants get?
Into being on the clock for their pick.
Giants, who do you guys get? Pick is in. Oh my God, who did they take?
Traded this pick. They have made it. Could it be Sam Darnold? Could it be Saquon Barkley?
Saquon, get Saquon. Get Saquon.
18 draft after a
I don't care, just get Saquon.
Here's the commissioner with
okay.
Of the Giants.
Okay, guys, Saquon. It's Saquon. It's Saquon. Watch. It's Saquon. Saquon Barkley.
With the second pick in the 2018 NFL
oh my God, Saquon Barkley.
The New York Giants select Saquon running back.
I got it right. Oh my God, I got it right. I got it right.
Come out of college, he gets a hug from his coach at Penn State and James Franklin. This young man.
Okay, I'm 1 for 1. I'm 1 for 1. Let's go.
But let's be honest, the Giants have rarely ever had.
Oh my God, I'm
with Eli Manning under center and Odell Beckham out wide, Sterling Shepard out wide, Evan Ingram on the line at tight end next to Nate Solder, the protector that they got in free agency. This young man is about
let's go
to the New York Giants and play in New York City and the New York.
Wow, Saquon Barkley's going to the Giants.
Big night.
Oh my God, that hat is ugly. My God.
Best football player in this draft.
That
6'2", 233 pounds. What I love about what he's going to do for New York, and Richie touched on a little bit, he's going to make the quarterback
let's go, Saquon.
Eli Manning is a better quarterback.
I knew he was going to go there. Who thought he wasn't? Huh? How's that a big mistake?
Defense, so you help your defense, and you also help your offensive line.
I still think Rosen's going to the Jets. Rosen's still going to the Jets. And this thing's laggy.
Double jump cut. Now the cutback. He's breaking ankles everywhere. At 233 pounds, he runs 4.4. Lower body.
All I can say is congrats to you, Saquon Barkley. You're the first good pick in this draft.
And then that 4.4 speed to the edge.
Yeah, that's good.
You want to play a man-to-man with a safety or running back, forget about it. A little stick-nod route makes it easy for his quarterback. He's got the ability to split wide like a Le'Veon Bell.
Marshy, Saquon Barkley went to the Giants.
The only thing you can possibly say on the negative side is he tries to make too many big runs.
Hey, Marshy, when are the Packers on the clock, huh?
Too many negative plays, but that's just frustration. At the end of the day, the New York Giants just got better because of this guy.
And it's time to welcome Saquon Barkley to Prime Time, delivered by Pizza Hut. Prime, take it away.
You sit up here shaking your head like it's a moment. You just became a father Tuesday with your daughter Jada, and now you're the second overall pick going to the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Giants are going to the Super Bowl, actually.
Two of the biggest moments of my life in the same
Rosen's ward number 3.
I'm so thankful to be able to be a father
and then Chubb goes 4. Darnold goes 5.
to be here with the people I love, my mother and father, and share this moment.
You're graded one of the best, if not the best, to come out of this year's draft. What should the Giants expect from you?
The Giants should expect a guy who's passionate about the game, who really
You
loves
guys ready for the quarterbacks to be drafted this year?
Hopefully I can come in there early, be a leader, and try to play as early as possible and do the best as I can.
You believe in Eli?
Yes, sir. I believe in Eli.
You believe in Odell?
I believe in OBJ.
And I'm sure they believe in you. Congratulations.
The Giants have a running back.
You got it.
Since for the first time since Sticky
Barber.
Well, what it tells you right off the bat is that Dave Gettleman did
the
not.
Jets are on the clock, guys. The Jets are on the
left
clock.
on the
Let's see when
board
their
were
pick
a
is in.
franchise
I hope it's
quarterback, and
insane.
so now you look
I
at
hope it's
Saquon
insane.
Barkley and what he brings. This Giants offense has not had a top 15 rushing attack, but one in the last 7 years. So a 37-year-old quarterback, he certainly helps that offense. They brought in a couple of offensive line. They still need to get better up there if they're going to truly take advantage of this young man's abilities. But I like that he's a three-down back. We saw some of the things that he's able to do as a receiver. He's a good blocker. I agree with Mike Mayock, number one player in the draft. Great pick.
And he goes to the Giants' second.
Oh, I thought the pick was in.
Honda War Room. Cam presented by Honda, showing Dave Gettleman on the right there.
Okay, Sid. This is the NFL draft.
John Mara, the Giants draft party. They are just ecstatic. They cannot believe their good fortune. That young man wearing
Giants fans are crazy
also
right now.
personifying, in a way, Odell Beckham's excitement. He just tweeted out moments ago that
the Jets are going to get a punter in the draft. First, third overall pick is going to be the
Eli Manning just got himself
yeah.
a heck of an
Hope the Browns get Chubb at 4. So do I. So do I, guys.
Interesting moves.
Yo, guys, I hope Chubb goes to 4 to the Browns. I really hope so.
You know, you've got a running game. You've got
Sitting
guys
here,
ball
just gonna
to,
watch.
and Mike mentioned earlier, shorten the game and have a big impact guy. But you think about what Ezekiel Elliott.
We know the trade.
Cowboys. This guy.
No, the trade's going to be 5 with Denver, and then Denver's going to select whatever quarterback, or Buffalo's going to get whatever quarterback is available.
The Giants would be getting 3 and 4 yards. Someone's going to go for 60. This guy's special, and automatically made this team a contender.
Meanwhile, the Jets have 3.5 minutes left on the clock for them, and when they moved up,
Rosen or Allen, Rosen or Allen, Rosen or Allen.
Making that move after Rosen, Kirk Cousins making that trade with the Indianapolis Colts. As you can see, he's not pictured, but looks like shaking hands towards the top of the screen there, and the Honda War Room cam showing what's going on with the Jets. Pick should be in shortly. I don't know if when McCagnon made that trade with Chris Ballard, he would have thought in a million years he would have a choice between Darnold, Rosen, and Allen.
There's no way Chubb's going to the Jets.
What do you think they're discussing?
This guy just said Bradley Chubb's going to the Jets.
Yeah, and they moved from 6 to 3, and they have to understand the possibility that they could be picking.
Pick is in, guys. Pick is in. Pick is in. Pick is in. Okay, bye, Sid. But the pick is in. The pick is in. Oh my God. Pick is in.
That's who I expect the pick to be.
No, it's not going to be Sam
to
Darnold.
make really a blind trade. You never see that, to go up to number 3, not knowing who you're going to get at that point in time. It looks
is Darnold already?
Like it could work out absolutely perfect for him. One thing about this division, though, the AFC.
How is Lucky?
Tom Brady's not going to play forever. And a lot of these teams are in the quarterback market this draft. Which team gets it right tonight could go a long way and decide the next decade in that division.
Yeah, and the Bills with 2 first-round selections have been heavily rumored to be coming up maybe at 5 with Denver. Maybe Chris Ballard wants to keep moving
Raiders
back
get
at
Jakeem
6.
Griffin, not 10th
They
overall.
trade to go there at 6 if Allen or Rosen is the apple of their eye. There's also Lamar Jackson sitting out there, Mason Rudolph, the quarterback sitting out there, but Darnold might be the name we hear next, Mike.
Look, at the
I really
end
hope
of
it's
the
not
day, they
Darnold
gave
because
up
I don't
a
want to
whole
get
lot, but it doesn't matter.
I already got the
kid
Darnold
can
pick wrong.
play who they're about to
wrong,
announce,
so.
and I really believe it's Sam Darnold.
It's in.
Okay, here comes the commissioner with the Jets pick.
Okay, guys. Who do you think will it be? Who do you think will it be? It's coming. You have like 5 seconds. Okay. Pick is in. Let's go. Let's go.
Could it be deja vu all over again?
With the 3rd pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Sam Darnold.
Wow.
USC.
Wow.
So there he is, 20 years old. In other words,
Sam
almost
Darnold.
half the age of Josh McCown, going up the steps and adding his name with Teddy Bridgewater to the Jets draft quarterback room. The 3rd overall pick in the draft is
Sam Darnold went there.
And I've got to be honest with you. I think the Jets have hit on
Oh my God.
play early,
But the beauty of the situation right now with the Jets is because they re-signed Josh McCown.
Let's go.
They can play him when he's ready to play. It's a little bit like Carson Wentz a couple of years ago with the Eagles.
Hey, Josh, Bradley Chubb's going to go here. Watch. Bradley Chubb's going to go to the Browns number 4.
It's okay, but it's going to be on his
Vita Vey?
Now he's 6'3.5", 221 pounds. He's the consummate playmaker. He keeps his eyes up to extend the plays. The only downside, ball security is an issue. Not just interceptions, but in the pocket.
Are the Browns okay right now?
At USC. I love when he extends the play. He's
looking
left.
Over the Browns.
He feels it back right, though. Steps up into the pocket. Look at the eyes. Stay up. Now throw him open on the back line of the end zone. That is a beautiful throw into
Browns aren't going to trade the bid.
Play action on the run. Highly accurate on the run.
Bro. Browns aren't going to trade the big. Watch. They're not.
And again,
they need to get Chubb.
Scored 20-plus points a game in high school basketball. 3-sport star. He can beat you with his legs. The downside, ball security in the pocket. Way too loose. Now, when that ball gets kicked out in the pocket like this, he's got to clean it up. And the way I look at this, Troy Aikman, you and I are on the same page.
What do you think is going to go here, Chubb, right?
Quarterback in the draft.
Watching?
And I ask you as a former quarterback.
It's already 25 minutes
you
in.
can clean up some of those
2
issues
minutes,
mechanically in the pocket with the football. Do you agree?
I do agree. Let me say this, Mike, that what's interesting about the New York Jets, they gave up a lot, as we know, to move up 3 spots into that number 3 position, and it very easily could have turned out that they got the 3rd best quarterback. I think, and we'll never know for certain, but most teams had Sam Darnold picked as their number 1 guy,
number 4.
And I'm not so sure that the Jets didn't get the guy that they would have taken had they have been
Chubb's going
the
number 4.
1 pick. As far as Sam Darnold, he does. He checks all the boxes. He's big. He's able to make plays outside the pocket. You look at his tape and the things that he's able to do. There's some of the creativity that he has. In fact, I think some of his best throws came when he was on the move. I see him working the pocket right there and then finding the receiver down the field. He spent a lot of time this offseason working on his throwing motion. Jordan Palmer, his quarterback coach this offseason, tightened things up. His pro day was outstanding. He threw in the rain. He'll have some of those conditions when he's with the New York Jets. You talk about the turnovers. Those were problematic. He had 22 turnovers just this past season in 13 games alone. I believe that those are things that can be coached out of a young player, and I expect that to happen with Jeremy Bates as his offensive coordinator.
And Troy, 2 quarterbacks early in their NFL career that had issues with fumbles. Andrew Luck and Russell Wilson. You live with some of that because you've got the playmaking to go with it, and he's got to continue to improve in that area. I think Sam Darnold will. And Rich, this guy's wired the right way to handle New York. I was in the stadium in that goal against Penn State. He throws that touchdown to tie the game, and he was like this. The criticism's not going to bother him in New York.
Darnold is the 5th USC quarterback in the common draft era to be selected in the 1st round. In 1991, the Raiders took Todd Marinovich, 24th overall. The Bengals took Carson Palmer 1st in 2003. Then another USC Heisman Trophy winner, Matt Leinart, 10th overall in 2009. And then again, the only other time the Jets chose a quarterback in the top 5 in the common draft era, Mark Sanchez, 5th in 2009. Sam Darnold is the highest drafted quarterback by the New York Jets since.
Oh, God. Okay, so we have to watch another NFL draft. Next pick is Browns. Browns got it. I'll come back to that one. I have to find more.
Just looking at the breakdown, the numbers weren't great last year. Overall grade, though, he was in the 86, 87 range, both his redshirt freshman and sophomore year. He's still only 20 years old. Let's not forget, only 2 years of playing college football.
Those numbers, though, is one of the things where you got to go back to the tape. Those doesn't look terribly impressive, but it's one of those things where you go back and watch his offense, and it just was a poorly crafted college offense. He was not throwing to a lot of open receivers. He had poor receiver talent there at USC that he was throwing to. And when you take all that into account, what he did was, actually fairly impressive. It doesn't look like it, but it actually was. And so that's why he is our number 2 quarterback.
He improved that deep grade, that deep ball grade last year. The thing that stood out to me as a redshirt freshman was the anticipation that he throwed with. And I know he's got this little loop in his throwing motion. And the anticipation that he has throwing the ball before guys are even open, leading them through zones, was just at another level.
Okay, so no, I don't want to watch that. Okay, what else is there? I just missed the Colts pick, didn't I?
The pick is in for the Cleveland Browns.
Okay,
the pick is in.
Oh gosh, guys, the Browns have their pick. It's a QB. No, I'm kidding. All right, guys. Let's see who they pick. Donald and Barkley with 2 and 3. Please be Chubb. I just want to hurry up. Who will the Browns take? Okay. They selected Denzel Ward? What? What? Denzel Ward? No. No, it's not. What? Are you serious?
The Browns have picked Denzel Ward, everybody. The Browns have picked Denzel Ward. I'm giving you the best play-by-play. I'm currently watching it on Fox 10 Phoenix. If you're not in Arizona, please check your local TV listings for your Fox affiliate. It's on right now.
Okay. The Bears don't need Chubb. Okay.
And the way I look at it, the way I look at this right now for them is, if they were going to move down, it's probably going to be a third team coming up for a quarterback. You're talking about going down to maybe 12, Buffalo, Arizona at 15. You're not getting the same type of player. No. So I think this is a situation where
Browns are on the clock. Broncos are on the clock. Watch party. Why do I want to watch a watch party? Okay, I really don't want to watch that. My reaction.
At number 9 to the 49ers.
Do I trust you?
But that's a fun pick, man. I had that, I think, in my dual mock with Swami. But I like this pick a lot for the Browns. I think it makes more sense than Bradley Chubb. That's just my opinion. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Now we'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.
Oh, he got a Saquon Barkley jersey on already. What the heck?
People on Twitter are laughing about the Browns pick. I'm like, Denzel Ward's a really good pick. It's just everyone thought we were going to go Bradley Chubb, or they were going to go Bradley Chubb.
Yeah, I mean, just because it's not who you think doesn't mean it's bad. I think Josh Allen's at 5.
Josh Allen's at 5? Are you sure about that? Rosen's still on the board at 5.
And they're both in the same draft. Kind of cool.
It's cool.
Rosen in the same draft. Bro, Rosen's already in the draft. Rosen's also on the clock.
Did someone message me?
Rosen's on the clock still.
Yo, my dad graduated from your high school.
Whoa.
Number 26.
Wow. What do you guys think about that pick in the chat? I know I haven't really been all that active in the chat.
I'll get 3 rings, no, 4 rings. I'll do more for my community than anyone has ever done. Ever. I'll be the best humanitarian in the league. I'll do better than great. I'll do good.
I probably have an unpopular opinion with Denzel Ward. He's really good.
Denzel Ward.
Denzel Ward is really, really good in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Chubb's going to Indy.
Try to trade that. You don't know that they didn't try that.
Well, the Bills said they didn't want to give up both first rounders, and that was probably like the
real
possibility there. So
Finns go Rosen. Nah,
How else
Finns
are you
ain't
gonna
get a quarterback.
gonna get him?
Just watch. I'm probably gonna go do top 10 since nobody's watching.
But yeah, this is exciting, man. Who you got here at 5? Yeah, Broncos. I'm thinking Josh Allen over Rosen.
Rosen all the way.
Prototypical John Elway type player. Looks great in shorts. He looks amazing in shorts.
Okay.
Oh, I fucking typed
give me
the word CB
give me that
Brown.
subscriber right here, dog.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's correct. He's no longer at Ohio State.
Hey, who here is watching?
Those are wild.
This draft's already crazy.
Interesting. So this has to be QB again here.
Oh, I think so.
This could be Josh Allen, you know.
That's what I'm saying. I think it
You
is.
watch Josh Allen. Just watch it, right?
Which would help out the what you said at the beginning of Rosen being the one to fall.
Mm-hmm.
Rosen actually might be the one to fall. Since he's not been taken number 3, I don't think. Wait, what?
I'm gonna refresh my chat. We got 1,300 people in here. If you guys are new, please hit the subscribe button. Pick is in.
Pick is in, guys.
For the Denver Broncos.
Who do they select?
I'll start recording here in a second. What's going on, guys? Bengal here with yet another video on draft night. The Broncos pick is in. The selection is about to be made. If I had to guess, and I think predictions are good, before we see all these picks, because obviously you guys watching, even though you guys are watching after this is being made, you guys know the answer before me. I think it's quite clear. If I had to guess, I'm going to say Josh Allen. It's got to be a quarterback. I'm saying it's between Josh Allen and Josh Rosen. It's going to be a Josh. And I'm not joshing you on that. Haha, don't unsub. What do you guys think? Which Josh? Or is it somebody else? How wild would Lamar Jackson be?
Rosen.
It's definitely not going to be Lamar Jackson, but how wild would that be?
Rosen, guys. It's Rosen.
That would be
Lamar Jackson.
Insane.
Okay, guys.
That's nice. They're getting these big-time Broncos fan to make the pick. Only time that Roger Goodell is not going to get booed. Kid's looking sharp, though. Look at the suit. Look at the tie. I'm a big fan of the undershirt. It's a nice blue. Good to see. I hate looking at Goodell, though. I'm gonna be very excited. I want the Broncos to go Quentin Nelson here, but they're not going to.
No, please no. Get him. No.
I don't think so, at least.
Yes.
I think Quentin Nelson's the best player on the board.
Please Nelson.
I think it is going to be Josh Allen. I don't think there's a way they don't take a QB. They're certainly not sold on Case Keenum.
Okay.
Bradley Chubb. That's interesting. It is not a quarterback at all. Wow. It is Bradley Chubb, defensive end, NC State. I don't think they thought Bradley Chubb was going to fall. Bradley Chubb falls, and they take Bradley Chubb number 5 overall.
What a steal right there.
That is certainly interesting.
That's crazy.
That's another big surprise. Still, zero trades have been made. But Bradley Chubb is certainly a fantastic
How did not get a quarterback?
Broncos defensive line. I mean, you have
are they high?
An aging Derek Wolfe, I guess, on there. He's not that old, though. He's like 28, I feel. But Von Miller, good rotational edge. I mean, you're probably going to start him. I assume you would. If I had to give this a grade, I'm going to say this is an A probably for the Broncos. It's not a quarterback, but it's one of the best players on the board. And if you are going to bank on Case Keenum being your quarterback, why go QB in this draft class? Chubb is a really talented player, great 4-3 edge, very traditional 4-3 edge. I like this pick for the Broncos. It was certainly a bit of a surprise.
I can't wait.
But it's a fun pick, man. I like the surprises. You got to like the the curves in the road. And I think now, almost certainly, we're going to see both of these QBs fall out of the top 10 in Rosen and in Allen, unless a team trades up. Which, why would you, unless you're trying to trade up in front of another team trading up? I don't know.
Who are the Colts going to get now?
But
freaking Davenport,
that's interesting.
maybe? I don't know.
Certainly. That's going to do it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.
How about the Broncos taking a Bronco Nagurski Trophy winner?
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Oh, it's Ariana.
It's
okay, I'll be here.
Player, so you can't say that's a bad pick.
I think Quentin Nelson's a little bit better.
Well, Colts are ready to go. He just 1 and 2. Those two are 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Colts are ready to go. Where the fuck are the Colts going to take?
Quentin Nelson.
Yeah. Quentin Nelson. I'm gonna go with a random pick of not really random. I'm gonna go with Roquan.
School already.
That'd be a really fun pick.
It's upstairs.
Have you done that?
Yes. Look at this. The draft already started. This right side is this side. This is what happened.
Question.
Yeah.
They just play these sections of different.
See, Daddy, this is it.
Yeah.
That's what the draft is.
Oh, okay. They're like real fans, though. They're not.
Yes, it is. Barkley went to Giants number 2. There have been no trades.
Around in 7th grade, do you do Machiogis?
No.
How about in 6th grade?
I'm not telling you. Yeah, I did already, Daddy. Okay. So.
You gotta love it.
That is true.
Put it in the front.
Where they booed their first round pick.
Fine.
Yeah.
They originally gave you 116 to 125.
What?
Do it only 116 to 120.
That's a lot. Oh, I have to do math. My God.
I think Roquan.
Roquan will be fun. I don't.
Roquan.
Official, how do you protect Angelo Oakley's comeback? Give him this mauler up front. I absolutely love this guy's tape. It's phenomenal. I believe he can play in any system. And there's an argument that he could be an instant Pro Bowler in this league when he comes in and plugs and plays day one.
Yep. Not the sexy kick, not the sexy. Certainly not what I'm sure they thought, but
I missed the 6th pick. What?
You can't snip at a guy that's likely going to be a Pro Bowler, multi-time Pro Bowler, especially a team like that has had such terrible issues with the offensive line for years.
I will say personally a little bit upset that Quentin Nelson fell this far with me thinking he's the best player in the draft, but it's a good pairing. And I don't think Indy anticipated this. I think Indy really thought that Chubb would be available, but they're getting, in my opinion, a really good player. I think it helps them move forward. They still got to answer defense, but here you go.
Nelson.
Is maybe not the best thing. Sometimes the draft falls helps you out the best way. And so that can end up being a blessing in draft. And one thing we know, edge rusher is a very hard position to translate. And if they were looking for him to be a starter, it could have put them in a situation where they drafted him, but then output wasn't as good. At least with Nelson, you know that if he is a protected look, he's going to open up some big holes in the ground game. And honestly, an interior guard is one of the quickest positions to translate in NFL. So it's a very safe pick for them, and it probably worked out for the best.
All right, let's see
what you guys thinking with Tampa. What are you guys thinking with Tampa? You thinking Derwin James?
I'll tell you this: if I was Tampa, I would probably be wishing that either Barkley or Chubb were there. Since they're not, I would actually be listening to calls right now, seeing if somebody wanted to trade up, because I think Minka or James are going to be there outside the top 10 at this point.
Yeah, and this is not a spot where you think they'd. I don't think they do any dealing in the NFC South.
Yeah, definitely not.
You're thinking maybe they're on the phone with a Buffalo, Arizona.
Yeah, exactly.
Bills traded up
Josh
for
Rosen
Bucks
is still
pick.
there. Rosen is still there.
Rosen is there. Allen is there. And this might be it. If you're going to continue with the Saints offense, you probably need secondary help, like more than anything. And they added a few linemen. You can feel good about that. And the top one is pretty much gone. So I feel like safety. Maybe you can go cornerback here. It could be too high for Jair Alexander, but I think safety is probably the best thing, and I think Derwin James has the athletic profile to be the pick if they so choose.
I'm with you on it, man. I'm with you on it. Well, hey, Clay.
All right, fellas. I'm gonna go get to work here. But if anything crazy happens, I'll give you guys a buzz back. Y'all are awesome, man. This is great.
Thanks as always, Clay. Appreciate you calling in, buddy.
Yeah, fellas. Have fun.
Take care.
And for guys wondering who that was Clay Ferraro once again, working with WPLG, ABC, covering the Miami Dolphins. Also a big Saints fan, but covering the Dolphins. Good to get his insight. Up next here, our next guest, as we're waiting for the pick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to come in. Next, we will be having Jacob Infante, who actually covers some of these teams that we're looking at. We had Clay anticipating maybe there was going to be a trade, but if nothing else, we gleaned some good insight from him. But now, we're getting there, man. It might be. But Jacob Infante from the Bears will be calling in just a few minutes, and we'll be able to talk, hopefully, about what the Bears are doing. And then we've got the Bucs. We'll see if they make a trade. If I'm the Bucs, man, I honestly probably thought, yep, there's the trade. The Buffalo Bills have traded up. And they are now selecting at number 7. We have got our first trade of the NFL draft.
And we know this is going to be a quarterback.
It has to be.
It has to be a quarterback. It's Rosen. Or do you think Rosen can play in the Colts? We've heard that they've been tied to Josh Allen several times. Rosen seems like the simple picking. But when you think about them playing in the elements, you need somebody that can spin it. You need somebody that can win. You've got a running back to protect them. Do we maybe possibly continue to see Rosen fall as other quarterbacks are drafted around?
Shut up, Mariano.
To Aaron Rodgers, it seems like he's going to relive the exact same nightmare that Aaron Rodgers lived to a certain extent, which would be interesting. So this pick is going to be it's going to be big because this could possibly be Josh Allen here.
It very well could be. I think overall, the big question is not only can the guy play, but can they take a team that was on the edge? I mean, the Buffalo Bills were there. I mean, the Buffalo Bills were not far off from being a team that could get far. I mean, we're talking about a playoff team here. We're not talking about a rebuild team. We're talking about a team that has talent. They just need a little bit something more. So now are we confident in either Rosen or Allen being the day one guy? I would personally be more confident in Rosen, even though the situation you're in, but you bring up the weather. I think that they're probably going to go with Allen because of the things you mentioned. He's the bigger body. He's got a little bit more arm strength. I think they're going to go Josh Allen.
Yeah, Rosen would be the smarter pick. I think because of the offensive pieces they have, they've got a few of them, especially knowing that they have LaShawn McCoy there. You can kind of work around him. And I feel like Rosen to me seems like a point guard. A guy that can get the ball to the right place. He's one of the more natural passes.
And the pick is in, by the way. The pick is in. They have selected Josh Allen. Josh Allen, quarterback.
Wow. That is not surprising.
Every pick
that is not surprising. That is not surprising me one bit. Sometimes those little small tidbits, those intangibles, things like hand size, throwing power when you're playing in the weather, those things make a difference. We do know that the Saints like wide receivers and quarterbacks with 10-inch hands. Those are the small things that make a difference that can be the determining factor between this quarterback and this quarterback for a team. I think they want to go downfield. He's got a big arm. And I think they've got the pieces that can kind of protect him in his first year. So that was it's a fit pick for them. You can't be mad. The grade may be lower on the quarterback, but when you think about fit, vision, it was a fit pick for them. You can't be mad at the pick.
Yeah.
Bears are on the clock.
Crazy. You know, we talk about these quarterbacks going, I'm surprised that Rosen is still on the board, but I understand why. And I mentioned this to you earlier. I mentioned to the entire Canasta Chronicles group for the New Orleans Saints. Even though the Saints didn't have a private workout with Rosen, guess where Sean Payton attended? He attended Rosen's pro day, just as he did Patrick Mahomes. So his name's up there in a potential trade-up. But right now, the draft has already gone the way that we didn't think it would, which is why I love the draft. Love the unpredictability here. It's a lot of fun so far, man. This is great. It is great.
You know the other pro days Sean Payton showed up to?
Throw him out.
The time is not with Kamara. I'm just saying.
It's very important.
When he pops up, he's popping up for a reason. If there's anybody that you can feel good about, kind of having a good feel for his offensive talent, especially those early round guys, it's Sean Payton. And I contrary to what's been said, I like the smugness of Rosen.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I like the smugness. And
I'll tell you this, man.
Learning behind Drew would be a good thing.
If you had, the ability to pick a quarterback, assume they're healthy, are you not picking a guy like Aaron Rodgers, which is a lot of people that Rosen gets compared to is Rodgers. That mentality, he's a winner. He's what you want. I think everybody will be pretty happy with him. Sounds like Jacob Infante has joined us here. How you doing, Jacob? Good to have you, man, and you're right on time.
Okay. So
thanks, man. I'm really excited to get over here and break down some Bears.
Yeah, well, y'all are on the clock. You're the first guest we've had who've actually been able to call, and your team was actually on the clock as we got to talk. So good. Well, first of all, thanks for joining. For those who don't know, Jacob Infante is with SBN Nation covering the Chicago Bears. What do you think you guys are going to do right now?
In all honesty, I'm not sure. I was personally hoping that Quentin Nelson would fall to 8, but that's not going to come to fruition.
Yeah.
So if the Bears don't trade down, my guess is they're going to pick either Tremaine Edmonds or Roquan Smith.
See, I mocked Roquan Smith to you guys probably a couple weeks ago. In fact, the last I might have done it when you and I did our first round mock draft. I feel like the thing that they've been missing in Chicago, everybody talks quarterback and everything, but to me, what made Chicago was Brian Urlacher, at least in recent history, dominating as that defensive leader in the middle of the field. And I think Roquan Smith can be that guy. I would love to see him in Chicago, even though I really want it for my New Orleans Saints.
I'll put it like this. Last year they got their quarterback, and then this year they got their quarterback of the offense. Roquan Smith seems like the quarterback of the defense that they've been missing.
What do you think about that, Jacob?
Yeah, I personally would like Roquan Smith here. I think that he fits in with Ryan Pace's strategy for the offseason. He's made a lot of aggressive moves to make sure that the Bears can step in right away and succeed. I think that picking Roquan Smith would do that. I think Tremaine Edmonds has more upside.
Yeah.
But I think that ultimately Roquan Smith would, better fit their current trajectory.
I think Roquan Smith could be an immediate impact guy, and that's not to say that I don't think Tremaine Edmonds can't. But, I think the Bears, you don't have Trubisky in his second year. You've got a good run duo there in, Chicago. You've got a decent offensive line. You can start building that defense. Maybe the Bears could be contending for the NFC North quicker than some people think. What do you think, Jacob?
I think it's definitely possible. I mean,
sure.
The NFC North is...
You don't want to put your neck out there yet, huh?
Yeah, no. On paper, the NFC North is one of the best divisions in all of football right now. Because you've got the Vikings, they're Super Bowl contenders. You've got the Packers, who are
watching the NFL draft.
You've got Aaron Rodgers. You've got the Lions, who, they've had some pieces. Always in that playoff hunt. And you've got the Bears, who fallen on a bit of bad luck. But they're on the upswing. They've got their franchise quarterback. They've got some pieces to surround them with now. So I don't know necessarily if this year's the year, but I do think that they'll definitely see some improvement and they could make the playoffs in the near future.
Well, looks like you're going to be right. The Bears are taking my favorite linebacker in this class, my draft crush, Roquan Smith. So the theorizing that we've done has come in, and there it is. You guys in Chicago have got your new middle linebacker. How do you think that's going to affect you guys moving forward? I know we talked about it briefly, but might as well get into it deep now.
Denzel Ward is not going to happen.
I think your TV's a little ahead of mine. News to me, wow. Okay.
Elated?
Oh, boy. I'm sorry. I'm kind of fanboying out right now because this is the guy that I wanted. So
yeah.
Clutch.
Oh man.
Clutch.
Sorry.
That's real excitement, man.
Yeah. Honestly, this is great. I love it. I think Roquan Smith's the type of guy who can be a day one impact player. He's the type of guy who can be a Pro Bowler within his, first 2 or 3 seasons. I see him stepping in immediately and being a leader for this defense.
Yep.
I think it's a fantastic pick.
So that was your number one. Did you have anybody else that you would have considered here? If Roquan Smith isn't your guy, do you have any other draft crushers, or was Roquan just the one you had in mind that could lead your team back to defensive dominance?
I really like Nelson and Chubb, but excuse me, my TV's announcing it now. I want to hear it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Save it a moment.
I understand that.
I love it. I love it. I'm off the walls excited right now.
I think you're getting a great player, man. Really do.
Yeah. I had him as the 5th overall player on my board. So obviously I valued him really high. To get back to your question earlier before I, stopped you guys for a second there, I did like Quentin Nelson and Bradley Chubb. I kind of liked Tremaine Edmonds. I was never fully on him, fully on that bandwagon. I did like Minkah Fitzpatrick. I thought he was a really good player, but he doesn't really fit a need. Whereas Roquan Smith is in that, in my opinion, there are 5 truly elite prospects in this draft, and Roquan Smith is one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would be of a similar mind there. In my grading, I do a little bit different than some people, but I only had 6 players that had what I would call a top 10 talent type of a guy. Roquan Smith was number 4 on my draft board, only behind guys like Bradley Chubb, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Quentin Nelson. I feel like you're getting the complete package at linebacker. Some people will say that, hey, he's too small, he's undersized. But truly, if you look at the NFL, where they've gone right now, that is a prototypical linebacker. He is prototypical size. He is what Devo Jones is right now. He is what a lot of these younger guys coming in the league are. Hate it that he's not going to my New Orleans Saints. That was an extreme long shot. But I think what he can provide from a mental processing standpoint, from a play calling standpoint, Roquan Smith gives the Bears something they needed for a long time. And that's somebody to go one-on-one against Aaron Rodgers. And I think he has the mental capacity to do that. That doesn't mean that he's going to beat Aaron Rodgers on every play. But from that standpoint of being the leader, being the home field guy, and having the athletic ability to play coverage in man or zone, plus be a good, good player against the run, something you'll need to continue to work on, but a good player there. I think the Bears are truly getting one of the best players in this draft.
I definitely agree with everything you said there. But you can go ahead.
Jacob is just too excited right now about actually landing Roquan Smith.
I am very happy. I don't think I've been this purely happy about a pick in quite a while. Because last year, I liked the Trubisky pick. I was a little confused as to how I should feel, considering the trade and what they gave up. And I honestly didn't like the Leonard Floyd pick in 2016. So this is a breath of fresh air to me. I'm really, really happy.
I would, because I've also got Bills fans and Bills analysts that I'm close to that I talk to, and they are not as happy as you are right now because your team didn't trade up to draft Josh Allen. So you're probably feeling a lot better than they are right now.
Yeah, absolutely. If you break it down, I think this is personally crazy. The Bills traded away Corey Glenn, and they traded away 2 second-rounders to secure Josh Allen. And I think that's a bit bold for someone who's, probably the biggest boom or bust player in this draft.
Just a little bit.
But, yeah. I mean, if he's their guy, then no one's really going to care. But on the surface, I don't get it. I would have picked Rosen if I were in this situation. But, then again, I have a feeling they're probably confident in McCarron's ability to step in and be, placeholder starter for the time being while Josh Allen kind of adjusts to that NFL lifestyle.
Well, the 49ers pick is in. We're waiting for it to get confirmed right now. Crazy stuff. Let me ask you, though, because we can't be completely negative. I mean, Josh Allen does have upside. There are good things to look there. You know, from you getting the chance to look at his film, I know the Bears aren't a quarterback-needy team this year, so you probably go as in-depth as other guys did. But what are some of the positives you see about Allen that could lead to success there in Buffalo?
You know, I personally think that Allen has all the physical tools to be a very good NFL quarterback. It's the mental tools that kind of worry me a little bit. But if you look at it, he's got the arm strength. I got to attend the NFL Scouting Combine this year, and watching Josh Allen throw those deep balls in person was just – it was incredible, honestly, just how effortlessly he chucked the ball like 70 yards. And everyone around me was just in awe of how strong the kid's arm strength is. And he's also got great size. He's got great hands. He's got, you know, the ability to extend the play with his feet. And I think he's well tested and he's ready to step into a cold weather situation.
Number 3 is the commission.
I think that is one of the few things that I would give him is, you know, the cold weather is something that has to be considered. So having a quarterback who can throw with velocity, arm strength, that's somebody. And wow, the 49ers pick is in. They take an offensive tackle, Mike McGlinchey. Did not expect that from the 49ers. Now, the 49ers were a team that I thought were looking at Roquan as well. And now they've had to go to the tackle, Mike McGlinchey, as their first-round pick to hopefully solidify that line for Jimmy the Goat Garoppolo.
Daddy, Raiders are on the clock.
Yeah,
they're going to take
that's a smart move. Mayock has him as his number 8, and you want to protect your quarterback, and they just spent a lot of money on Garoppolo. So the ceiling for Glitchy fell past the Bears and landed right in the 49ers' lap. So if you're not getting an edge rush if you're the 49ers, I think the next best move for them was to take an offensive tackle. So now they've got someone to protect their $50 billion man. So smart pick for the Niners. They're really – I like what they're doing. I like their offensive coordinator. I like Kyle Shanahan. I think that wherever he's gone, he's caused offenses to grow. He found him a quarterback. He got him a quarterback that also understands the system, can make the throws. He's going to do fine with the scheming wise. They're going to score some points out there in Cali. Like the 49ers are going to score some points.
Well, and I'll say this, and I'll get Jacob's opinion on it because I see one of our commenters in the YouTube chat asking, you know, was Mike McGlinchey really that good, or was he just benefited from Quentin Nelson? And certainly having Quentin Nelson next to you does help. I mean, they were a phenomenal duo, you know, in college together, working together. But Mike McGlinchey is actually a good player in his own right. And I remember talking to Duke Manyweather about this. And for those who don't know, Duke Manyweather is one of the premier guys when it comes to offensive line talent and training. Works for some of the biggest names in the NFL, you know, getting them ready, and in the NFL draft, getting them ready for their future. McGlinchey has got talent in his own right. I had a second-round grade on him. You know, I did not expect him to go this early. I feel like there were some things that, you know, had to be worked on with him, but very good mental processing. Same thing that we talk about with, you know, Quentin Nelson. We see that with Mike McGlinchey. He reads the field very well. He has quick feet. He moves well in space. I think that he can play zone or gap schemes. It's his pass protection and his anchor that I want to see a little bit more improvement from, and I think he still has raw hands. But overall, Mike McGlinchey is the guy that you can trust as a tackle. He's got good length. He's 6'7", 312 pounds, a really good player there. 49ers picking to solidify their team. And now we've got the Oakland Raiders, who I believe just traded with the Cardinals, or they just selected?
They just traded with the Cardinals.
All right, just traded with the Cardinals. We've got our second trade here in the draft.
So now the Cardinals are obviously –
It's got to be quarterback if you're trading up here, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be. Now we're just waiting with bated breath on what it's going to be. They should probably – I assume they're going to have the pick in immediately. But, man.
So anybody be shocked by Lamar Jackson here? Considering what Bruce Arians has been saying, he would actually come out of retirement to coach Lamar Jackson. Feels like he's as good as Vince Young was when he came out, and doesn't know what went wrong with Vince Young, but felt like Vince Young could have been a real weapon. Could the Cardinals be coming up to get Lamar Jackson here, and could we possibly continue to see Rosenthal?
I think it is possible, man. I'll also tell you this, that I think this draft is showing the importance of positional value, and that even though you might not have a guy that's number one in your draft guy like I do in mine when we do these generic type of draft guys but not team-focused. So obviously there's going to be teams that because of position are going to look at who's the best tackle in their opinion. They're going to take them earlier than you might expect by, one-on-one who's better player. I think you could see also some of these safeties going. I mean, Minkah Fitzpatrick and Derwin James still on the board. I don't know if you'd necessarily trade up for those guys, but, Josh Rosen, Lamar Jackson, quarterback being the big thing that the Cardinals need to answer. A couple different rounds they could go here. I would also just want to make a note that losing Honey Badger means that they are in the play for Minkah Fitzpatrick, and if they thought a team was going to take them at around 11 or so, they could jump up and try to make a move.
That's a significant possibility. Even though I feel like the only other position that's been undervalued outside of running back recently has been safety.
Yeah.
And especially when you look at the free agent market, the way that planned out. So it would seem like trading up for a safety would almost be counterproductive to what we've seen that happened this offseason, what's been going on in the NFL. But it would be a very interesting pick.
I think it would be. Now, I'm not leaning that way. I still think that quarterback is the position that probably gets selected here, and rightly so. It's the most important position in the game. But, it does leave you to question what they could do. What do you think, Jacob?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question? I was getting myself a drink.
No problem. Just theorizing here on what the Cardinals could be doing here trading up. I mean, safety definitely in consideration, but I think that Rosen and Jackson are both the leaders here. I would assume. What do you think the Cardinals could do here?
I personally think that the pick's going to be Rosen.
You think it's going to be – that is who they seem to be tied to the most, and they might not have expected Rosen to fall this far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Signals that they're going to be looking for a signal caller here.
Interestingly enough, with Adam Gase being the quarterback coach, or at least the head coach in Miami, and him kind of relying on a system that has maybe a quarterback that runs a little bit. If you do jump in front of the Cardinals,
Daddy, there was a trade.
Probably be jumping in front of them to kind of
Cardinals got 10th pick from Raiders.
Quarterback away from them. If you thought they
were taking first round,
just wonder because I still feel like Rosen could possibly fall, even though, and we've been saying Rosen would be the smart pick at quarterback because of what he's able to do from the position as a thrower, and yet he's continued to slide because teams have had their preferences on the typing to put in. So
does not mean that that's your future. Just like with Case Keenum, we're in it. We have now had 4 quarterbacks go in the top 10 picks. Still have guys like Lamar Jackson available and Mason Rudolph. But man, this is really shaking things up. 4 quarterbacks in the top 10 picks.
10. It is a quarterback-driven league. It is very much. If teams aren't drafting quarterbacks, they're going after the guys that can get after the quarterback.
Yeah.
Which I can only expect that someone like a Marcus Davenport or a Harold Landry should be coming off the board fairly soon in the draft that doesn't have many notable pass rushers.
It's possible.
You got the Packers coming up. They could be a target for either Landry or Davenport.
Yeah, I think now I like if I'm Green Bay, there's a couple of options I like. If I'm Green Bay, I'll tell you right now, I'm watching very closely with Minkah and Derwin continuing to fall.
Yeah.
I'm watching closely to those names right now. And if they get any closer to falling, I might consider trading up, maybe calling Miami if they want to get them now. But, considering moving up to possibly nab one of those guys.
A linebacker